Hey guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about this. This is Tretinoin. I've now been using it. Well, I plan to film this as a 6-month update, but we're actually approaching the 7th month mark using this skincare product. And I know when I started Tretinoin, I had so many questions. I was watching a ton of YouTube videos like this, so I wanted to come on and share a little bit about my experience and the process. I've also had just so many questions ever since I started using this, so today I'm going to share some updates with you guys. I will share with you guys a little bit about my experience on it, the changes I've seen in my skin, and I also want to share my skincare routine and share with you guys some products that I think work well with this. There's going to be a lot of information in this video, so I will break it apart with some timestamps in the description box if there is a certain part of the video you wanted to fast forward to. I'm also going to be discussing a lot of products in my routine that I enjoy, and I will link everything, so there are going to be so many links down below. All of the info that you need will be in the description box. If you are new here, hello, my name is Kelly. Here on this channel, I talk all things beauty, but I would say I focus mostly on makeup. So if you're into that type of content, be sure to subscribe. And let's go ahead and hop into it. For this video, you can probably tell I didn't put on any makeup for this video because I wanted you to see my skin after using Tretinoin for 6 months. I did use a little bit of the Sigma color corrector on my under eyes. I did put on a tiny bit of cream bronzer from Tarte, some eyebrows, and a lip oil. But that's it. I wanted you guys to kind of see my skin. So first of all, let me briefly explain what Tretinoin is. So this is a prescription retinoid. You obviously have to be prescribed this. I was prescribed this by my primary care physician, but a lot of people are prescribed it by a dermatologist for acne. So that was the main use for this when it was first created. That was why I started Tretinoin. But it also is pretty well researched for anti-aging, smoothing fine lines, and I've noticed a bit of difference with that also. I'm popping in while editing to say that the anti-aging results from this take a lot longer, so I haven't really seen anything too significant over the 6 to 7 months I've been using this. You'll notice results in acne much sooner. That being said, I do think that my forehead lines look a little bit less prominent than they did years ago, but I think that's other skincare products I've used in addition to the Tretinoin. I think they're kind of all working together. So before we get in, I want to talk a little bit about my own skin type. So my skin, I would say, is normal but leaning dry. And when I started Tretinoin, it got very dry, but we will get into that. And I would also say I'm quite acne prone. As a teenager, like most teenagers, I really struggled with acne. It wasn't like terrible cystic acne, but it was very persistent. I feel like it's always been there. Even in my adult years, my problem area is always my forehead. I struggle with a lot of closed comedones, which are essentially those little bumps on your forehead that like look like they're gonna be pimples. They're kind of just like blackheads under the skin, and they are very difficult to get rid of. But for the most part, in my adult years, I felt like I had my skin under control through my skincare routine. And it wasn't until I moved to New York City in July that I started to notice a difference in my skin. So I moved July 2021, and almost immediately after moving, my face started breaking out so much I could not get it under control. It was honestly all over my face, but mostly on my forehead. And for months, I felt like I was trying everything. I was switching up my routine. I was using less products. I would try more products. I would try different products, different ingredients, and nothing was helping. And so in October of 2021, I met with my doctor and was asking her about some options for my skin. So she ended up putting me on 2 prescriptions, one that I used in the beginning and not anymore, and then Tretinoin. So for context, the other prescription that she prescribed me, I keep saying that word, is clindamycin. This is a pretty commonly prescribed product for acne. Obviously, I'm not a medical professional, so I would consult your doctor for all of this, but I did want to share my experience. It's not necessarily a long-term solution because what it's doing is essentially blocking the bacteria. So it's not going to prevent your acne long-term, but it can be a pretty quick fix. And I noticed results so fast with this, especially on those forehead breakouts, because a lot of times if you're breaking out here, it's more hormonal, but this, like she thought, is more bacterial. This would be a better option. So I started both of these at the same time. The clindamycin I would use every single day. I think I would use twice a day. What does this say? I did whatever she recommended to me. I want to say she recommended twice a day. Don't quote me, ask your doctor if you are on this. But I noticed a really fast difference with my forehead breakouts with this. I did take progress photos that I want to share with you guys. And when I started the Tretinoin, I started it very slowly because this is an intense product. So I was using it once a week for a while until I felt like I could do twice a week, then 3 times a week. I would say now my skin probably could handle every night, but I don't think I need to do that. Like I can maintain my results by doing this every other night, every 2 nights. And if you're wondering the strength that I'm on 0.025. I don't necessarily plan to go up in strength either because I don't really think that I need to. I'm liking the results. I think they're well maintained. And in terms of long-term research on the product, you don't necessarily need to go up to a very, very high percentage to keep those results and to prevent some of that aging. In general, I would say after a month on this combination, I already saw really great results, which is not necessarily common. A lot of people go through what is called the purge. So let's talk about the purge. If you have even looked into Tretinoin, you're probably familiar with this. What happens for someone who's prescribed this for acne, normally it gets worse before it gets better. Now, if you're starting Tretinoin more so for the anti-aging benefits, you might not notice this result if you're not already acne prone. But like most skincare products that kind of speed up that process in your skin, anything that's under the skin will come out faster. So it's kind of like it's all happening at once, and a lot of people notice their acne get worse for a little while before it gets better. And that was something I was so fearful about when I started Tretinoin. I was like, oh, do I want to deal with the purging phase and have my skin get way worse? Personally, I didn't experience that. So if that is your fear, it doesn't happen to everyone, but I would say from what I could find from a lot of people, if you're starting it for acne specifically, your acne is likely to get worse. However, I do attribute a lot of the fact that my acne didn't get worse to the fact that I was using clindamycin at the same time. Now this you can't use long term since it's an antibiotic, but I did use this for a while. I don't use this anymore. What I noticed more so in that purging phase was the dryness. So I don't think my acne got worse, but my skin got very dry, and it doesn't help that that part of my Tretinoin journey took place in the winter when my skin naturally gets a little bit more dry. So I was pretty peely, not as bad as I've seen. I've seen people get this like so flaky, but that wasn't my experience, though I definitely was the driest I have ever been. Mostly in this region, and I do have some products that really helped me. These days, even without super intense moisturizing products, I don't get as dry as I did when I started this. I think it's just the fact that my skin was adjusting to it, and it was the winter that was making it pretty extreme. So I didn't purge, I did get pretty dry. Oh, and you do get pretty sensitive. Like your skin, I feel like there were a few days where it almost hurt. Not so extreme, but you can just tell like this is a very intense product on your skin. So I would say just be careful with it. Don't overdo it. You don't need to go that fast. Like let your skin get there at its own pace. And I'm gonna share what really helped for me. So I used the sandwiching method, which a lot of people use. So those first few months when I was applying this, I would do my PM skincare routine and I would moisturize, and then I would wait about an hour. I would just like go watch TV, just get ready for bed. And then after an hour, I would go back, apply the Tretinoin over top of my already soaked in moisturizer. And then I would wait again until that was fully soaked in, and then I would moisturize again. It's really important with this product, especially in the beginning, that your skin is dry when you're applying it, because if there is some moisture there, that's going to make it that much more intense. So taking the time in between those steps to let it dry, especially in the beginning, can help prevent some of that irritation. So I don't really need to sandwich with this anymore. I don't put my moisturizer on first. I just go in with this. But that's a really great tip in the beginning. I also took breaks if I felt like I needed it. So if my skin was seeming extra dry, I would kind of ease off this for a little bit, skip a week maybe if I thought that I needed to. Also, I didn't reintroduce any other actives into my routine for a solid 4 months. I'm gonna share with you guys what I'm using in my skincare routine now, but if you're just starting Tretinoin, my recommendation would be to only use these products. An oil cleanser, a regular cleanser, a moisturizer, and sunscreen. I don't think you need anything else when you're starting Tretinoin, and if you try to overcomplicate the skincare routine, your skin, you might notice more problems. But let me share with you guys my current day routine now that I've reintroduced other products back into it. I did this very slowly. Like, there were so many nights there for months where I would only use Tretinoin maybe like twice a week, and every other night, all I was doing was washing, moisturizing, washing and moisturizing. Like, those were my only steps in my nighttime routine. But here's what I do now. So I always start with an oil-based cleanser. Currently, I'm using this one from Peach and Lily. This one is in a pump, which is convenient. This is the Ginger Melt Oil Cleanser. I am really enjoying this one. I also love the Pharmacy Green Clean. I've gone through a few of those. Also, if you want a drugstore option, the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Oil Cleanser is really phenomenal as well. But I start with an oil cleanser first to kind of break up my makeup, since I do wear makeup almost every single day. I still do this step if I'm not wearing makeup though, because it helps to take off my sunscreen. Step number 2 is to cleanse. I actually just ran out of the one that I was using, but it was the e.l.f. Holy Hydration one. You'll notice I've got a nice combo here of like drugstore and high-end skincare products. I love products from like both price ranges. But the other thing I do is 1 to 2 times a week, I use something exfoliating. So I will use a chemical exfoliant. So I like to use a combination of AHAs and BHAs. I have a few of them that I do enjoy, but the one I'm currently using is this one from Glow Recipe. This is a new product from them. It's the Strawberry Smooth AHA BHA Salicylic Serum. I used this last night, and I feel like today my skin was just so smooth. If you struggle with texture, this type of product is very effective for that. I tend to use that 1 to 2 times per week. Again, you don't need to do that a lot. Like, there are some nights I don't use any actives really. I just am moisturizing after I cleanse my skin. I try to use my Tretinoin anywhere between 1 and 3 times a week. It usually ends up being closer to 3, and then I use an AHA like that about once a week, sometimes twice if I feel like my skin needs it / can handle it. In my AM routine, I like to just like rinse my face. I don't wash my face in the morning because I don't feel like I need to. I don't have oily skin. I've just slept after washing it a few hours before then. So in the mornings, I just kind of rinse off my face a little bit. And then lately I've been using this vitamin C serum. I have a few others that I like, but this one I'm really enjoying at the moment. This one's pretty new. It's from Pharmacy. It's their 10% waterless vitamin C serum. This, I think, sits well under makeup. I do this, then I moisturize. Not all vitamin C serums want to sit well under makeup, and since I do wear makeup most days, it's important to me to have a product that's gonna layer well. My current morning time moisturizer is the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Water Gel Moisturizer. I just mentioned this in my favorites video. It is such a great lightweight moisturizer. After this, I make sure it has more than enough time to settle into my skin before I go in with my sunscreen, because I don't want to dilute the sunscreen really, or like, you don't want it to mix in with the moisturizer. I want to get that full protection. I'm currently using this one from Mad Hippie. I'm not obsessed with this sunscreen though. It's the Daily Protective Serum UVA UVB 30+. It is a zinc sunscreen. It's okay. I prefer more of an SPF 50, but with this one, sometimes it leaves a little bit of a white residue. I wouldn't say it's a full-on white cast, but I notice sometimes in like this little divot by my nose or around my brows. I had such a Midwest accent right now when I said nose. My nose, right by my nose, and sometimes into my brows, I'll get a little bit of white residue. I notice a slight cast, but as you can see, I'm pretty pale, so I don't notice a ton of a cast, but I would say if you have a deeper skin tone, you might not like this since it is zinc-based. I could see a cast happening there. I had a sample from Sunday Riley of a sunscreen that I loved that I got as a point perk at Sephora, and I really want to go back and get the full size of that one because that has been one of my favorite sunscreens that I've tried recently. I also tried the Glow Recipe one recently. I cannot get that not to pill on me. I know that the feedback is like 50-50. I know some people are like, it doesn't pill at all. I love it. Personally, I can't get it not to pill. Okay, we're kind of going in a weird order, but let me share some of my favorite hydrating serums, and then I'll share some of my favorite moisturizers. So I do tend to use some sort of a hydrating product at least like every other day. I don't necessarily need to use a hydrating serum every day, but something like this I find helpful, especially since I do have skin that leans a little bit dry, and the tretinoin can be pretty intense. Look how sunny it is outside. It's kind of throwing off my lighting, but I'm also loving it. So here are a few. This I did not like at first, but I like it at night. So this is the Pharmacy Feeling Good. It's a hyaluronic acid serum. Oh, the ordinary hyaluronic acid serum is really great too, and it's like $6. But this one pills for me if I try to wear it in the morning under makeup, but at night I get a little bit of hydration from it, and I don't really mind that because I'm not putting makeup on. So I like using this one at night. It's very hydrating. I've also been enjoying the Glass Skin Refining Serum from Peach and Lily. This one, it has peptides and peach extract. I don't know what the peach extract does, but this one I like in the morning. I feel like it layers well. You don't have to worry about pilling with this under makeup. And it's a very thin, like you can see, it looks like water, but it makes your skin so dewy and beautiful. My favorite that really grew on me that I didn't think I liked that much until I started Tretinoin, you guys know I've talked about this so many times, the Glow Recipe Niacinamide Dew Drops. If you have oily skin, you're probably going to get this and be like, what's the hype? But if you have dry skin, you're going to be like, whoa, look how dewy my skin is. So I'm actually wearing this today. I put that on when I sat down. I'm like, I'm not going to be wearing any makeup, but let me put this on to get a little bit of a glow. So if you look a little glowy, it's this right here. Also, I started using this. This was in their collab with Michaela. It's the Avocado Ceramide Recovery Serum. I've actually used half of this already. I really, really like this one. Their products are scented, but I don't notice any irritation from them. And this is another one I like to apply sometimes at night before I put on my moisturizer to get a little bit of extra hydration if I feel like my skin needs that. Moisturizers, I have a few that I use at night. Like I said, lately I've been using the Peach and Lily one for my morning one. These are some heavy duty ones for nighttime. So first of all, I've been trying this one from Boscia recently that I do really like. Boscia is cruelty free now, so this is pretty exciting. This is called the Plant Stem Cell and Ceramide Barrier Defense Moisturizer. This one is super thick and heavy. Like you can see that. It's not a normal moisturizer texture. It's like really heavy. My hands are really dry right now, so hopefully applying these like 50 moisturizing products can help my dry hands. This is a little heavy for me for daytime, but I love it for night. Now, if you want a drugstore option, the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Cream is now available as a fragrance-free version, and I cannot recommend that one highly enough. It is like, I said in another video that it was $10. I feel like it was originally $10. I know they raised some of their prices recently. I think it might be $13 now, but it's still a great price for a great moisturizer. My number one recommendation to pair with Tretinoin is this right here. This is pricey, but I'm telling you it's worth it. I already have purchased a backup of it. It's the Pharmacy 10% Niacinamide Night Mask. I've turned a lot of my friends in my personal life onto this, and everyone has great reviews to say about it. It is a super intense mask. Niacinamide pairs really well with Tretinoin, so I would definitely recommend this. Or if you're on a budget, the Ordinary Niacinamide Serum is another really great combo that I used all the time with my Tretinoin in the beginning of my Tretinoin journey. This, I'm telling you, like you will wake up the next day with baby smooth skin. Another really hydrating, moisturizing mask I like to use at night is the Drunk Elephant F-Balm. It is the F-Balm, not balm, but it's the electrolyte water facial mask. This one, super hydrating, really, really good. Am I missing anything? Clearly, I'm not using every single one of these products every single night, but I do feel like I kind of rotate between them depending on what my skin needs that night. So on nights that I'm using my Tretinoin, I follow up with this. On nights that I'm using the Glow Recipe, I follow up with this. And I'm very much overcomplicating this. I don't think you need nearly this many products in a routine, but these are the ones that I rotate between, so I wanted to share them all with you guys. I would say in general, make sure that you have a cleansing oil, a regular cleanser after that, and a good moisturizer. And then maybe once a week, you might want to use an exfoliating serum. And in the mornings, I definitely recommend a vitamin C before you apply your sunscreen. It's going to help so much with pigmentation, especially if you're like myself and you had some acne scars. Even though most of the acne for me was on my forehead breakouts don't really scar. It's the cheek ones. So even though I only had a few on my cheeks, they still were like really scarred. And now I feel like most of those scars are gone. And I attribute most of that to the vitamin C. Okay, I hope I answered everything. I have been filming this video for so long, but I hope that this video was really helpful for you guys. If you are on your Tretinoin journey, keep going. I feel like my skin texture, I've never felt this good about my skin before. I feel like it is so even toned. Like I saw a difference from Tretinoin so fast, and I'm really excited to see the long-term results over the course of a few years. I don't plan to ever stop using this. Like this will always be part of my skincare routine because it just makes such a big difference for my skin. So if it is something you are curious about, I hope this video was helpful for you. I definitely recommend talking to your doctor or dermatologist about it. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next one. Bye.